Hey guys, let me let everybody get in and we'll get started. Yesterday, this turned out really pretty. This is what I was talking about last night that I did. I made one that said, be right back, that I had been using, and it really helps the camera. So I made one that says live, and I'm just going to set it to the side somewhere when I'm working, so that camera always has a word to focus on. And I made it with Sharpie, so it's big. So I'm hoping it'll help with the fluttering when you have a wider page, or you're starting a project, or like I'm jelly printing and there's nothing on the screen to focus. That camera wants to flutter and makes that flickering blur and then focus and then can't decide what it's doing. Well, welcome, Deborah. This is the acrylic pours. Some of you know who were at Shauna's house. I was watching Ange at Ange's place last night. She was showing us her cool stamp she got at Hobby Lobby, and I was exhausted and I had to leave. So I listened to my book, and I was kind of falling asleep, playing my video game, listening to my book. And then all of a sudden I had this in my brain, like a color combo, that I've been trying to find something to put this mermaid on for an order. And no, Shauna, yours was not doing it today. It did yesterday. Remember when we had the little paper on the clipboard, it wouldn't focus? That's what I was trying to tell you was, did you see it just flickered just now a little bit? Yeah, Shauna does. If you click on her name, Deborah, you can go to her channel without losing my live and subscribe and ring bell, and you'll get notifications. Hi, Norma. So what my brain was, I was going to do white, the green that we made, that Eileen had me make the other day, because it was a pretty green, some creamy yellow, a little bit of purple, some teal, and a brown. And I probably could have used a little more white, but I love how they turned out. So this one, I don't want to back the camera out, but you can't see the whole. But see how it's got this creamy yellow, and then there's a real soft brown with that white, and then the light teal. Now I did put a dark teal in there, and even Eileen's green you can't see so much because it mixed with the brown. But it's really pretty, and the mermaid will pop on it. So that was the first one. I did two because I had enough paint. This is the one I'm going to put the mermaid on. Now I did mess up and I touched it. I thought it had a glob of water or oil, but it was actually a paint that wasn't dry. But this is where the rock is going to go, so the paper's not going to matter. But this is the one I'm going to use for the mermaid, because I can put the rock down here, but leave this cool ring agate-like thing. This is like the water, and this is like the sky, and that might be like a cave area. But what I'll be able to do is put her rock kind of right in here that she's going to sit on, and I can sit her on that. And that will cover up that, and she'll be perfect. I don't think I'll use a whole lot of this other, but I might. Yeah, I've had Tay Tay has jumped up and made a glancing blow And the other day, I came in the room with the lights were out, and I hit this one, and I think I caused this. It's like two little smudges right here, and I didn't realize it at the time. I know I caused that because I didn't like this, but all I'm going to do with this is take a black paint pen and create some cells. To break it up. And see how it just blends and disappears. And I'm probably even going to go in and break this big blue glob up some. That was just to kind of and that sort of broke that up. So when you look at it from a distance, now you can't tell that there was that area so much. Yeah, I don't buffer very often, Judy. Hi, by the way. Hi, Jean. So don't you think that, look, I hate this new camera thing where it's backwards. Don't you think that broke it up and it's better? Now it blends and you don't notice that area. Because before I noticed it. Now I'm not too worried about this. I still think I'm going to do a peacock head in metallic and put it right here or here somewhere and do it with metallic colored pencils. So it's down here. But I'll do it on paper and then I can decide if I like it or not. Okay, so we did this yesterday at the end of the stream. We were just playing around. And for those of you that weren't here, what I did was, I'm just trying to get in the camera. There we go. What I did was I have some weird washi. I ordered washi from Amazon, and when it came, they make big rolls with different patterns on it, and then the machine cuts it. Well, the machine wasn't in the right place, so when it cut it, I got these weird little offcuts. And so we took this washi that was skinny and we laid it down, and then I did just watercolor. See, I'm still getting a little. So I wasn't sure. I knew I wanted to use it as a background, but I wasn't really sure about what I wanted to use. I was thinking about, well, I could just do a hare on it because, you know, they sell, and that's what I have to do a lot of. So I grabbed my mask of my hare. I have a pattern that I use. It makes it pretty easy. And I have a mask that I've cut. You can see where I've like worked on the pen to doodle to get it to start. And I thought, well, I want to see how I like it down. And I've used this mask when I spray or I'm going to stencil paint. Okay, this is the front of the mask. It matches perfect. This is washi tape that I put on there. So this, I'm going to put this on the background because his ears are just perfect as they are. I love the little old rings in stamping from sprays. Those are like dilution sprays probably from the past. And I thought it would be, she would be cute with maybe some buttons on her when we're done. The first thing I thought I wanted to do is, I love this, and I don't want to do anything too much other than add some definition to her face and some eyes. But I wanted to look for, I want some more pattern on here. I put the washi because I thought we could make it more like she had on like a V-neck sweater or jacket effect. So I pulled out my drawer of pink, purple, red, stenciled jelly printed paper. So this is a drawer that's about a 12 by 12 probably. Here's a, see, it's just right at 12 by 12. There's a piece of scrapbook paper. So I thought we'd dig through here, and what I'm looking for is napkin with pink. I like to jelly print on napkin. I could find paper. That's not really what I'm looking for. I'm looking, like, I thought about using some of this because this is pretty. But I thought, I don't really want to collage over any of that. So what I'm looking for is little bits of pink napkin. That's red, but that could work. Purple. I know there's more in here. Here's some dots that are cut out from a previous project we didn't use. That's green. That's in the wrong drawer. Here's more dots. Set that to the side. And what I do is I take, oh, see, there's some numbers. I take the back of the decorative napkin, and you know how they're 3-ply typically. I pull off the top layer to use, but instead of throwing away, that is paper, but I do really like it. And I also really like that. There's some more napkin. And I use that instead of deli. I didn't jelly print that. Somebody else did in a class. But it is more of a neon pink. But some of that might work too. So you can see and this is just the one ply. Because to me, deli paper doesn't go as clear as I would like it when I'm collaging. Okay, I'm going to move our background out of the way so that we don't damage it. And the other thing I like to do when I do the napkin is I just use a brush with water to tear the piece that I want. Like I don't want that cut edge from the scissors. And it'll just tear away. All right, so I'm going to put some gel medium. I like these numbers. And sometimes I give it a little spray. See, this is what I was talking about, Shauna. I don't have a fancy spray bottle. And I have it set. There's more than one. I can't tell what it's on, just says on. But it kind of squirts little bits of water out. It's not a fine mist. Okay. And then on this side, I think I'm just going to put some pink down this side. I want to straight. There's a little bit of a curve I'm going to take out. And then I think I'll put this little bit here. Okay. think that's enough of the pink. I don't think I want the dots. I don't want to lose this. So I'm just going to add that little bit of pattern on that one side. No. Put that up for another day. All right. Let's see. I'm thinking about just using, because I just want to add a little bit of color. I don't want to add a lot. So I think I'm going to use my Zig. Carmine red. I'm just grabbing a few that pink. I'm thinking maybe some brown. Deep brown. Dark brown. Mid brown. I'm trying to find the the browns that I can use. There's a gray brown. I'm trying to find a light brown that doesn't go green gray. I need a different container for these because this one sags. And you miss some of the colors. Scarlet red might be, it'll be too poppy. Geranium red. All right, so these are a little darker than what I want, but I'm not going to use them directly to the paper anyways. So I'm going to start with a pink. And I just put some on my mat. And I'm going to take a clean, damp brush, but not too wet, and get some of that on my tip of the brush. And then I'm going to clean that off so I just have a clean brush and try to soften and blend some of that out. This paper is super thin and it's not watercolor paper. So it'll go translucent, but then it'll dry. Just fine, I think. Okay. I'm going to put some of that pink here and do the same thing. Just try to soften it. And I'm even going to get a lighter pink. Try to get a softer blend on that. That helped. Okay. That lighter pink did help. All right, I think just trying to take some clean water and kind of blend some of that out. Okay, I think that'll dry just fine. Down here. All right, now what I'm going to do is take this medium brown with some water and a little bit of that pink. I want to get a real soft kind of brown color. To put in here. It's real subtle. It shouldn't even show up a whole lot. Add a little more pink to it. And a little more brown. I'll let some brown blend on these corners. So I went a little darker with this brown. Same brown, just no pink in it. I'm going to come in just on this part right here and darken right in here. And it's wet still. May not be wet enough. I need to wet this again before I go to it. All right, now. Okay. Okay. I think that defines her face enough. I'll put those colors back up that we didn't use. I'm just going to keep out the ones I used and put up the ones I did not need. Okay, let's go kind of with a soft blue. For this area and just sort of flood it with a little bit of a soft blue. And I have two colors of blue that I'm going to use. This is light blue. And this is cobalt blue. And I do think I want to get the paper wet. First, I'll come in. I'll actually blend those together. But that'll fill in that white area where those numbers were with that blue that kind of matches whatever this spray was. Right, and I'm going to go with that darker color. And darken it right here along this washi. Right, I want to make sure that's wet so it'll bleed pretty well. Darken that along in here too. Now I find that this is my preferred way to use these markers. Is I don't take them direct to the paper. Because then I get these lines I can't get rid of, even with it on the brush. Hi, Sandra. Hi, Colleen. And Kimberly. Anybody else I missed that came in and said I didn't say hello to? Sometimes when I'm zoned in, it's hard to see the chat. Right, I clean my brush. All right, let's dry her and see where we're at. So I'm going to heat gun. Because remember, the paper's wet, so that's darkening. Some of that will come up lighter. So you can see how much softer it is. And now it kind of looks like she has bags under her eyes, but her eyes aren't done. In fact, let's go ahead and start that now before Dot gets on me. All right, I'd like to use the favorite markers for that. I'm gonna use a raw umber, and that's a white paint that's down there. It's opaque white paint. Okay. And then I'm going to come in with a darker brown. This is walnut. And sort of smear it in. I'll just do around the outside edges. And then smear it in. Now, if you go straight to paper, this won't work with these markers. Just trying to darken it on that one side. All right, then I'm just going to use a black paint pen. We'll let that dry. There's a blob of like paint on her from before. There's this bump. All right, so there's that. We'll let that dry. Hi, Mindy. All right, I think she needs something right in here. She also needs a nose, and she needs, usually I'm just going to do it like a grayed out mouth area. So I'm just grabbing like a blue-gray. And just sort of put that in that area. All right, and I think I'm going to add that gray to the nose for right now. I think I want paper there. I think I want a piece of map paper. And you know how on an atlas, the cities are yellow? I want a scrap that has that yellow. So I have tons of map paper that are printed. Magicals. That's got a yellow and a pink. That works. And there's this area right here that's kind of a bright yellow with a coral. I'm just going to cut larger than what I need for right now. And then whittle it down. Okay, that's good. Well, that's almost. She just needed a little nose job there. Because that text will give it some interest too on the face. It'll draw your eyes in. And I'm going ahead and putting the gel medium over the top. Of that. Because it'll help seal it when I go to because this is a mixture of paint, watercolor. It'll help make, when I add it to the background, I'll be able to confidently work on it with the pit pins when we do our eyelashes and all of that. Okay, I'm fine with this. Not super fine with this middle portion. But I think I'm going to put a button, so I'm not sure it really does need anything. But I have an idea. I kind of feel it needs some type of text or something. And so remember, this stuff, let's use some of that in this middle. Okay, I'm going to grab a pencil because I can see through it. I don't want the little signage. I just want the text. Let me get a bigger piece because I want to have more. Freedom to what I pick to cut and tear. Because there's going to be, like I said, I think I'm going to put a button on it. So I think that kind of fits right in there. And I'm just going to trace the lines so I kind of know where to cut it. And I'm just going to make it fit over the whole thing. Okay, let's see how we're doing. Okay. I couldn't see my top piece there. All right, let's take the washi off. Washi doesn't want to come all the way off because the napkins. All right. Now let's dry fit. Let's shave a little more off the sides. Okay, let's put the glue down. And this is like fabric texture. It feels like not as stiff as interfacing, but between interfacing and a dryer sheet. Okay, let's get rid of all that. A little bit of scrap. And I got this on a roll at the Daiso. They had it in the brown and the blue. But it is, like I said, it had a weird texture. I thought it was tissue because it was in the gift wrapping section. But it has like a fabric texture. Okay. So I think she's good as far as she's ready to go on the background. I want you to dry the front of her before I flip it over. I need to finish her nose and her eyes, but I'll do that when she's on the paper. All right, so what I want to do is, I'm actually going to dry the back of that a little bit too, so she'll flatten out maybe a little bit more. I'm going to take the gel medium . I wish it was raining. Who's gone, Mindy? All right, I'm going to add generous amount of glue because I want to put her on the the watercolor background, and I want to get her to stick and not curl up because I really don't want to put anything on the top of the background. Okay, and I'm going to take a baby wipe. And add her on. Smooth it out. Try to get on those edges. Remember, I put gel medium all on the front of her, so it's not going to smear or move. I'm not sure I have enough on her ears. Let me. I'm going to get the edge of that ear. I mean, I don't care if gel medium. I just don't want to blur my watercolor. I'm not adding more watercolor to the background. I just want to get her securely on, but not disturb the background so much. right, I'm going to give that a little extra coat since I've got a damp brush. Okay, I think she fits that background. Perfect. All right, let's dry her. I am going to cheat and float a little bit of gel medium right in here. And I'm not moving it much. Yeah, shut up. Thank you, Mindy. All right. I don't know if that's dry enough right there, but let's go ahead and let me grab some of the pens I want to use for her. And then I think we're done with the watercolor product, so I can put all that up. I just need that to dry really well before I touch any pit pens to it. I'm just going to go in and kind of intensify some of these shadow areas. That lower lip, chin, actually. And I'm just using a pink and a magenta. And if you don't like something, you have time to wipe it off. All right, and I'm going to come in with a little bit of brown right in here. This is a walnut brown. And just kind of pull that out. It gives you that almost like a paint stroke. And I'm going to just soften it a little bit with the baby wipe. think I'm going to put this golden brown in there. Because I like that yellow tone more. And that's what I want to use in some of the nose too, I think. Use a little bit of pink in that nose across this bridge, maybe. Darken it on the sides here. All right, then we need a darker black gray. I'm just going to use this black. Then blend it. I'm just getting my hands wet just to kind of blend that. Use a baby wipe to pull back and sort of soften it. Take out some of it. Too dark. I'm going to go to the gray. It's coming out too dark for me. Let's put that magenta back in there too. So that kind of finished the nose. I think I want to enhance some of that green right in here. And it needs some yellow because it's too. Here's a dull spot. I don't want that. I'm not going to clean my hands because they're too dirty from the other colors. The yellow's helping brighten it back. There we go. That helped the face. I want to keep that right in the middle because I'm trying to build that bridge of the nose. Okay. Okay, here's some of our button choices. Like a bright yellow with a gingham button on top. I have this floral that we could put one here and one here. I thought about putting a button up on her. I have these little buttons. I don't think I want a button up there. I may have too many choices. I just have one of those. Oh, I think I was doing this. I'm almost done. We can go to Patty's. I think I want this yellow flower. And I think I just like the little gingham pink. I actually like maybe that stack of 3. Or maybe we don't need the gingham at all. Or we don't need this. That's too abrupt. Should we just do this? Yeah, Jean, I think it would be good. Is that okay? Just right there? We're going to do the eyelashes and we're done. So I'm going to leave those 2 buttons. All right, let's put the markers away. Let me get out the blacks and the white for the highlight. Okay. There's a 5. There's a 1. There's another 5. There's a 3. That's what I'll have to be today. All right, I'm not going to stick the button on yet. All right, so I start at the bottom with like a little commas. And it needs to be darker at the base of the eye. I'll switch pins in a minute. This is the 3. I'll switch to the 1 in a minute. And I'm hitting that blob of whatever it is on this eye. Okay. All right, let me flip her upside down. Start the tops. All right, and then I'm going to take the smaller pin and bring some of those out finer on the tips. Just use like a flick. All right. We need to do her whiskers. And I usually do her whiskers with like a 5 or a 3. And I do them in pairs. And I knew I was going to hit that fabric. And I got to clean my tin off every once in a while. Then I'm going to come back with that 1 or 3. And I add some finer wavy lines. Sometimes I use an 8. And little circles sort of at the, almost like a freckle here and there. Can also help. In the cheek area. She needs a little highlight in her eye. I'm going to put a little pink in there. And then come in with the okay, that finishes her eyes. Which shows up better closer up. And we'll put her in a mat. So you can see how she's going to look. And then I'll glue that on with some heavy gel medium. I may take a little, I want to put a stitch mark. I have a burgundy thin tip marker. And I'm going to see if I can make it look like there's thread. So that'll give the illusion of thread when that's dry. Looks like DM floss, DMC floss. All right, I'm going to grab gel medium. I did the white in the eyes. You probably can't see it. And I'm just going to take this is Liquitex heavy gel medium. I will tell you, this is something that I always prefer Goldens, but I bought this Liquitex. So until it's gone, that's what I have. All right, I'll let that sit on there. Move that mat. And then I'm going to butter the back of this button. Got to get her name too. Well, I think I actually have a name I want to give her. I don't want to touch that pit pen right now. So I'm just going to leave a little bit of that gel medium there. Now dry. All right. Sign her and give her a name, and she's done. I was kind of thinking about Prisma or but button's good. I also thought about flouncy. Name for we always name the rabbit, Shauna. All right, let me put my name on this side while we're deciding. Should be French, maybe. She has all this. Maybe she's Madame Button or La Fleur because she has a flower button. I think I'm going to go with La Fleur. Okay, we want Madame. Madame doesn't fit. Because I already put La Fleur on there. I could put La Fleur Button and give her two names. Only one. I think I already have a button. Button La Fleur would have been good, but her name is already on the La Fleur is already on. There's no room to write button in front of unless I write button on top. Yeah, I don't want to put anything right. I can't go right here. If I had put La Fleur farther down, I could have put Madame or button. So let's just leave it at La Fleur. All right, that's it for me. So if Patty is on, we can head on over there. I'll give you a little bit of a close-up. It looks on the camera like there's white here. There's white here because it's a wrinkle. It's where that dot is. That got it. There's like the pen didn't go all the way down. Let's see. I'm glad I did that. Okay. That got it a little better. There's still it might be a glare on the camera. Hey, Dot, we're done. I think Patty's on. But I think it was serendipitous that she just fit that background. And like I said, she was my mask that I've used on a bunch of other bunnies. And when I laid her on there, I just laid her on there to see if I would like a bunny on the background. Because I didn't want to obscure too much of the background. So I'm going to go ahead. Is Patty on? So I'll cut another mask and start you never know. Just need to start another mask until it gets all grungy and then use it. If I don't see y'all at Patty's or someplace else on the internet, y'all have a wonderful 4th of July for those of you in the U.S. Jean, are you home? No? At your house? Yeah, y'all stay safe if you go out. or if you're doing fireworks and all that. People are crazy this time, sometimes. Traffic and that kind of stuff. All right, see y'all at Patty's.